Good morning. Today we are going to learn the new concept of object-oriented programming, that's inheritance. Let's understand what is inheritance. Inheritance here is nothing but now I am the X person. If I need to be take birth, then I have to acquire some of the properties from my parent. But that doesn't mean that all the properties I have acquired. I have acquired some genes, I have acquired a DNA. Okay, but I have properties too. That's called mechanism is called inheritance. That is the real time concept. Hence again its CPP is called as a uh, object oriented programming concept. Object is nothing but real world entity. What definition it is? Definition is it's a mechanism. It is a mechanism or a process. It is a mechanism where we are creating a new child. What happening? We are creating the new child by acquiring the properties from the parent. Okay. By acquiring some properties from the parent and retaining its own properties. What is property here? Properties are nothing but the data members and member functions. What are that? That's the data members and member functions. They are called as the properties here. Member functions. So here, parent is there are many names for that. That is, parent is nothing but as a superclass. Super is a keyword also. So, but that not the parent is called as a superclass. This is called as the old class. That's called as a. We have another is a parent. Okay. Here it's a child class. It may be a subclass. It may be the new class. Okay. This is the definition. Inheritance means acquiring the, the properties. The definition it comes as it is a mechanism for acquiring 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 some of the properties from parent properties from. This is also called as the base class, old class, or a base class. This is new class is also called as derived class. Okay, from base class to a derived class. Derived class. I'm retaining its own properties. Its own properties or behaviors. So this is called as the definition of inheritance. So it looks like this. Old class. Okay. So here the parent is called as a child class, parent is called as a superclass, old class or base class. The child is called as a subclass, new class or a derived class. We are going to create a new child class by acquiring some of the properties from the parent and retaining its own property. Like if I am the X person is inherited from my parent, the smile of the parent I may inherit, but talk may be my own. Okay, walk may be like my mother, but the way of communication is own. That is called as inheritance. Okay, let's see. I hope you are clear with the definition. Once again, I repeat, inheritance is a mechanism for acquiring the properties from base class, derived class, and retaining its own properties. See the types of inheritance. What are the different types of inheritance? Types of inheritance. There are five types of inheritance. When it comes to the classification of a inheritance, we have five types. Okay, so let us see one by one. First one is a single inheritance. Single inheritance. Second is a multi level inheritance. Third is multiple inheritance. Fourth is hierarchical inheritance. And fifth is hybrid inheritance. So this is the caption of classification of inheritance. Classification of inheritance. So let's understand one by one. First, I will take first one. That's the single inheritance, and we will elaborate each one of it with its syntax and its elaboration. So, single inheritance. If you understand the pictorial representation for each, then you will be very clear. Single inheritance, only one parent and only one child. There is only one child and there is only one parent. So, how we are going to define it? It is a mechanism for creating a single, only and only one single child from only and only a single parent. That is, let's define it now. How many child are there? Only one and one. Only one and only one. And parent how many? Only one. Okay, only one. So this child acquired the property from a single parent. Oh, and how many children are there for that? Only one single child. So that's called as single inheritance mechanism for creating only and only single child from only and only single parent. Single parent is called single inheritance. Let's saw the syntax for each and we will understand the each one of it clearly. So I hope definition is clear. Single inheritance. Let's take a syntax. The pictorial representation is the parent and it acquires and creates only a single child. Now the syntax is class. Class name is parent. Then the visibility modes. The visibility modes here are that may be a public, private, or protected, colon. Then we have the data member 1, comma data member 2, and so on. Then visibility mode, member function 1, member function 2, and so on. This is the close of the parent class. Fine. Now, the thing is we are deriving the child. The child is going to acquire these data members and the member function of the class called parent. So how to write that? Now, visibility mode, the syntax is class child. Here also we have the visibility mode and we have to write the name of the parent. And same again, the visibility mode, then the data members and visibility mode, member functions. So this is the sentence. Okay, since that's of the a single inheritance. You must I should have a note. The note is to create object. Now, whatever the data which is present in the parent class is already inherited. And what has happened here? It's inherited. The data which is present in parent is already exist. Where? In child. So, note, we have to create an object for the last derived class. Object for derived class so that you can fetch the data members. You have to create the create object for the derived class. Okay, so we'll see while doing the practical thing. So I hope you are clear with the single inheritance. Single inheritance means acquiring the properties from the parent and the parent is only one and your creating child is also only one. By creating acquiring the property from single parent to a single child. That's called as a single inheritance. This is a pictorial representation and this is the syntax. And we'll write the programming later. We'll see one by one. Okay, so let's take an next type of inheritance is multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Let's take a pictorial representation so that you can give the definition properly. Pictorial representation or a graphical representation. Here it's a grandfather where the father is being inherited, our parent are being inherited, and you are a child. Okay, you are a child here. So this is the figure caption is multi-level multi-level inheritance. So this is a multi-level inheritance. So how we are going to define the multi-level inheritance is creating. It is a mechanism of creating a new child by acquiring the properties from already derived class. This is a derived class, already derived class. But for this, it is a parent. For this, it's a parent, but it is already a derived class. Already a derived class. Where here, this is a base class. This is a base class. So for this, you are going to create a new child by acquiring the property from the parent. So parent is an already derived source. So it's what is a multi-level inheritance. It's a mechanism. So let's write the definition. Definition is it is a mechanism to create a child by acquiring the properties from already derived class. Already class and retaining its own properties and retain its own properties. This called as an or we call it it's called as and the pictorial representation is here. I repeat once again. The child we are creating the new child by acquiring the properties from the parent, but the parent is already a derived class. Derived from grandparent. So that's called as an multi-level inheritance. So let's take a syntax for the same so that we can understand clearly. Syntax. How that is the pictorial representation of grandparent, parent, and a child. Okay, this is multi-level. Multi-level. In. So let's write a syntax. First, we have to create a base class. This is our base. This is already derived intermediate. Already derived, that is intermediate class. Intermediate class. Well, this is a child. Okay, child class, which is a creating from the already derived class. The syntax is first we have to create the class GP visibility modes colon the data members semicolon visibility mode colon member functions. Okay, and this is a close of the class the grandparent. Now we are going to create a class for parent class P, which is to be visibility mode, either public, private, or protected. Then we are creating the property from GP, and it has its own data members and it has its own member functions. And this is the close of the intermediator. Now, how to do that? For now, the for a child that is class child colon visibility mode. Then from whom it is inheriting? It's inheriting from GP. No, grandparent. It's taking from the P, parent. It's not from the grandparent, it's taking from the P, parent. Okay, and it has its own data members and it has its own member functions. Close with the class. Now in main method, what you have to do? You have to create an object for whom? Child. Child, and you have to create an object. Object dot data members you have to access and object dot member functions you have to access. And as it is a int, so we are going to take with the result 0. So this is the syntax. Here, wait, what are these visibility modes? The visibility mode may be the VM maybe the public data, it may be private data, it may be the protected data. For example, I will illustrate here what is public data and what is private data and protected data. So this is the syntax. I hope you are clear. Okay, so what is public data here? Consider an example for a inheritance is useful for data abstraction. The data abstraction is achieved by inheritance. Data abstraction is achieved by inheritance. Abstraction is achieved by inheritance. How I will show you. What is an abstraction? Here, abstraction means showing some data and hiding some data. For example, I will consider with an account now. Okay, for a SB account or any kind of saving bank account, that's the thing. For example, consider the details related to that. Now, name of the customer is what? Name XYZ. This is one of the data member or a attribute. Name is known to everyone. So that is what is the visibility mode for that? Public. That is cat name of 20. This is in public in nature. Now, number. This account number, whether the account number is to be given to all? No. That is more comes with that the data member. That account number is in protected way. The account number is known to me, to my family, to my friends. Here, the account number is an again you can take with a account number that is protected in nature. Whereas the password, if I say the password is known to everyone, to your friend, no. To your family, no. It's not only to you, and if you are willing to share with your mother or father, only to them the password is no. So that data is called as a private. Private data is what? Int password. So in this way, you can achieve the data abstraction. Abstraction showing some data, showing necessary data, showing necessary info to the user and hiding unnecessary data from them. Hiding unnecessary data from them. I will take one more example for that. Data from the user. This is called as a data abstraction. So let's take another example. This is one of the examples. Let's take another example how this the inheritance actual data abstraction. So assume here call. Here there is a sender and here there is a receiver. Okay. Here I have the telephone to call and here the receiver has the telephone to call. This is a X person and this is a Y person. I'm going to make a call. What need to be known to me? The user, they should know the phone number. That's it. I have to have the phone number of Y person, so that I can make a call. Y person, so that I can make. So here, you only know known information to the sender is that the phone number, telephone number. Phone number should be shown to the user. Phone number to be shown to the user. But do I know that who is the service provider? If the question is who is the service provider, it is not known. Earlier, we will come across that. If 94 that was the BSNL, 87 that was the Vodafone. But now due to the porting, we are not going to understand who are the service providers. Here, yes, here. So you want to call to the Y, so a connectivity happen. But I don't know here what kind of satellite is being given here. Okay, what kind of the satellite is provided for this Y person and what kind of a satellite is given for the X person. This is hidden from the user. This is hidden from the user. Hence, this is called as a data abstraction. So I hope you are clear what is data abstraction. So data abstraction is showing the required information and hiding the undesirable data from the use. It is achieved by using inheritance. Let's take the next type of inheritance is a multiple. Third one is multiple inheritance. Third type of inheritance is multiple inheritance. So let's take a pictorial representation so that you can understand the thing. So your father, mother, and another. So we are taking all the data and we are creating one chart. This is multiple. So the definition here is how to define creating a single child by acquiring a property from more than one parent. That is creating a single child by acquiring the properties from more than one parent is called multiple inheritance. So this is a pictorial representation. So when it comes to the syntax, let's see how to write the syntax for that so that it will be helpful for your program. So how it is? It's father, mother, which is to be taken as the child. So let's create two base classes here. Class F, visibility mode, data members, visibility mode, member functions, close with the class. Then class M, visibility mode, data members for this mother, then the visibility mode, member functions of the close. Now, the child is to be created. So, class child who is going to take the properties from father and also the mother. So, visibility mode, father, and visibility mode, mother. So, that data is being taken and it has its own attributes together. Data members and member functions. Visibility mode, data members, member functions. So, you are going to have this. So, this is the syntax of multiple inheritance. Okay, so let's take with the another two. One is a hierarchical and other is a hybrid. So I will here write the pictorial representation. Just take with the definition. So if it is a hierarchical inheritance, a single parent can have a number of child. That's called as hierarchical. Child 1, child 2, and so on. Child n. So this is called hierarchical inheritance. I hope you can write a definition for this now. That is, the definition is creating more than one child by acquiring the properties from a single parent. Now, first hybrid. Hybrid, here, parent. From that, you have the two child 1 and child 2. And from this children, you have one grandchild. Grand. So this, the caption is hybrid. That is a hybrid inheritance. Where if you remove this part, then this is single inheritance. Okay. If you remove this part, then it is a hierarchical inheritance. If you remove the parent, then that is a multiple. Then if you remove full put, so the hybrid inheritance, we are going to define combination of combination of Any of the single, multiple, multi-level, or hierarchical is called, or other is called hybrid. It's called hybrid inheritance. I hope you are clear with the concept of inheritance and its. Thank you.